gentlemen, guys and gals. What? You're recording too frequently? Please try again in 30 seconds. What does that mean?
We're streaming.
We're on!
We're live.
Ladies and gentlemen. Hey, Dork. Hey, guys.
Dork.
Mark Espinoza, Steve Ukraine. And I'm your host, Mr. Rourke. Welcome to Fantasy Island. What's going on in pop culture today? My brain is spinning with stuff.
Oh,
yeah,
spinning?
Yeah, what I was gonna say? Jump in. What do you got?
It's more my sister is doing a benefit for a pediatric cancer thing. She's collecting a book of stuff that the kids have done before, during, and after treatment, and she just realized that her brother's been doing pre-press and printing for 35 years. Maybe she could ask him what was going on instead of trying to figure out.
That would be too easy.
Something. It was really hard. Just our first conversation, I just was laughing at her. I'm like, here, let me just ask you a question. Like, you know the difference between 72 DPI and 300 DPI and RGB and CMYK? And she's like, no, that's all nonsense. And I'm like, well, it's going to take you at least 3 years to get up to this learning curve that you're going to need to have this book done so you can buy it as Christmas gifts. So here's a thought. Why don't you just send everything to me and I'll do it? But
smart man.
It's kind of the opposite of working with Steve, where he's like, I'm good with whatever you do. I'm happy to be here. She and all her pediatric soccer moms want to text me their email string of 15 arguments about whether it should be a cat or a flower, and I'm like, I don't think you people understand.
Just kind of let it be.
You have to answer all those questions for yourself, pick one, and then send it to me, and then I'll work my magic. I don't need to know what kind of sausage you're making. Anyway, it's kind of like having a client. But,
yeah.
So that's why my brain's spinning. I'm really happy to sit down and have you guys tell me. First of all, I would like to thank Mark Espinoza. Back in the day, he bought us a Marvel pancake waffle thing, which is no word of lie Walker's favorite thing to eat. He has eaten out of this waffle thing every weekend for 7 years, I think. You gave it to us after we went to San Diego, like thanking us for like all the hard work you did. And it really paid off because I've made that for no shit for 7 years. And it's finally started to rot.
No!
All the cooking stuff was flaking off, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure this isn't good to eat, man.
Yeah.
Just a little bit of lead. It's fine.
So we had to get another one, and it came today. So I was like, how perfect. I can tell Mark, thank you again for this family tradition that we have that only waffles can be Captain America's shield shape now.
That's pretty spectacular. Do you make a big jug of the mix and keep it in the fridge?
Not a big jug. I'll make because he just likes them on weekends. I basically make enough for 3 days, and
smart.
So it's basically one big one for him and one big one for me on Saturday, a big one for him Sunday, and then maybe some leftover like that. So I make that level because I don't need a big thing. It'll just sit during the week.
Yeah. That's nice.
Anyway.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Well, I shared with you guys the Thing picture from Fantastic Four, which is now everywhere.
That's making the rounds.
Yeah, that was fantastic.
I mean, it's funny because I was trying to think, when did I share it with you guys? Was it yesterday or today?
Yes.
Yesterday, right?
And were we saying you don't think that's actually going to be him? You think that was kind of just like a stunt double or like a line of sight thing? Or
I've seen the pictures. It's not him in it.
No.
So it's some rando.
I mean, it honestly could be anything. It could be they do that with the Hulk. You see those pics of where they have the torso and the thing just to give the actors an idea of what space the CG is taking up. So maybe they just did a full one for far shots and stuff. Like you don't want to CG them if it's just the three of them running across the top of a hill like in Lord of the Rings or something. So it could be anything. I don't. All the people are like going, "Oh, that's fake." I'm like, you're, some unkind
You're wrong.
word that some Republican might use about Gus Waltz, because it's very clear what that is. It's not.
Yeah.
That's if that's fake, it's the most elaborate thing ever, and you might as well shoot a Fantastic Four movie while you're at it. Come on,
I've seen the video of it. So there's a video of it.
Yeah, I posted that on my Facebook. It gives you an idea. It's cool. You get to see the guy's human hand, just kind of wave it out the end like a Daredevil accident or something. I mean, a Deadpool accident.
I don't know. Between that and Alien Romulus, I kind of like, if there's like a reemergence of practical over digital, I would be not upset about that.
I don't know if it's a reemergence. I think it's just I think you have a lot of directors nowadays that have gone. They've kind of been through both peaks.
Yeah.
Wrong way of saying it. So think of like James Gunn runs DC now, right?
Yeah.
So he's a trauma guy, dude. That's practical. He's not going to leave it. He wants to leave it in the hands of his creators and the artists to make something that looks crazy. He doesn't rely on a computer to make it look good. Yeah. If you watch Peacemaker, was kind of like, he tried to like add a little more practical. Suicide Squad, he tried to add a little more practical into each of these things. And even Guardians is pretty practical. The only thing he ever relied heavy on was just like, obviously you don't have someone who's, Rocket. You don't have someone walking around but he had people walking around as all of these characters. So I think he relies a lot on that. And I'm like you. Like, I think the guy who did Romulus, he wants practical. Like, he wants actual reactions of people's faces and eyes in the right place when it's, like, you can actually have two things on the screen when you have a practical thing in front of you. Otherwise, it's always like, scary thing, now go to the person's face. Scary thing, go to the person's face. And it's like you can actually have them both on the screen because they know where to look. I don't know. I hope it's a reemergence, because again, if they have Ben Grimm walking around as this giant, like, foamy looking thing, like, I'm all in for that. I think that'll be great.
Yeah.
I think it's not a reemergence too. I think a lot of folks just got all excited, and then that's what you heard about in the media because it was the new flavor of the month. And then everybody started to overuse it, like what happens with everything. Pumpkin spice. I mean, it's just, and then it becomes just a tool in the shed again, and we'll get cool. I got a feeling that's a practical suit that they are gonna give a little CG extensions to, like
100%.
Make the eyes blink and clean up the skin, and I mean they did that to fucking Falcon. Do you guys remember that on his suit, the neck stuff? It's just you can't do that in real life. Like when you turn your head, you'd see wrinkles of leather or whatever, and they just don't because they kind of erase them out and make it look like this cool thing, and they can't help themselves. That doesn't bother me. I think that's really cool, right? It's like you kind of get subconsciously like, oh, that's really weird. It must be some superhero thing because this altered reality doesn't happen in the real world.
Yeah, I'm like it's like, right. It's like polishing something a little longer than you should, right? It's like I think if you have the right people in charge, they know when enough is enough. And then there's other people that just don't know when enough is enough. And that's when shit goes like insanely crazy look. Like it looks super fake.
Oh, speaking of.
Emergency.
Walker told me to do something stupid in the middle of the show and I was going to forget. So I just did it.
I thought that was an earthquake warning.
The end. No, I'm with you, Steve, though.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of other crazy things I was reading about. Well, you read that Nobody 2 kicked off.
Oh yeah, they started filming. That's
started
cool.
filming
Odenkirk
again. So that's really cool.
There was one sad thing I heard. I was talking with Kieran McNulty, and he pointed out that there was originally going to be a follow-up the screenwriter, was working on a follow up to John Hamm Fletch, Confess Fletch. They were going to do.
Oh,
yeah.
I forget which one, but he just started adapting it, and they were like, "Yeah, it's not going anywhere."
Oh, that sucks.
I know. It was really sad.
I like that movie.
Who put
I
that out?
loved it.
Who put that out again?
Miramax. So
Huh.
they kind of just don't care. It didn't really make any money, but it wasn't really its fault, right? I mean, it was all part of that weird coronavirus strike, burn it on Showtime thing that people were doing.
Right. Oh, here we go. What do we got?
Jurassic World Rebirth. Huh.
That's the Scarlett Johansson one.
Yeah. Huh. I had not heard about this.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Scarlett
Yeah.
Johansson's in a Jurassic World.
Scarlett
Okay.
Johansson, the Blade guy. The Blade, the guy who was casted as Blade, who's never
Right,
played
right.
Blade.
Oh, Mashallah Ali.
Yeah, I never know how to pronounce it, so I don't even want to attempt it.
Oh,
Yeah,
Mashallah Ali. That's it.
Yeah. Who else is in it? The guy who's in it is from something. The guy's from
Jonathan Bailey.
I think he's from like Bridgerton or something, some weird like
Wow.
Of course.
show. But
Yes, Bridgerton.
he's Bridgerton. Okay, yeah, I knew he was like one of them. I just didn't know what. Yeah, I don't know. It should be interesting. I don't know, but I think that that one just got announced, started. I think they promoting something, so I don't know. That'll be interesting. Oh, there you go. Poster hit today with story info. I saw people talking about it last night. I was just like, oh, Scarlett Johansson in a Jurassic World movie. Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
I'm in.
Sure, why not?
Sounds fine by me.
Yeah. No complaints.
no
notes.
complaints.
No, right. No notes.
What else did I see? I didn't write any of this down because I was like, oh, let me do this off the top of my head, like I haven't, and I normally write it all down.
Well, it's that level of professionalism that we've come to expect from you, Steve.
Yeah,
much like my elocution and enunciation. Our professionalism.
There was some. What was the one about
Shivers,
Tom?
I love Shivers. Good evening from the near future.
I love it. Well,
This wouldn't be bad either. Sega Sags Hulk versus Thing for just to punch him up for a half an hour or an hour.
Yeah.
Could they pull it off though? I'm still waiting for another Werewolf by Night. That's what I want. I thought that was spectacular.
I don't understand why we haven't heard that there's going to be another Halloween special. I would do one of those a year and just fucking
Interesting.
own
Yeah, you're right.
Halloween.
Right? Like doesn't
Why would you not do that?
Disney? What television channel does Disney own?
ABC?
Is it ABC?
Yeah.
Like, why aren't we getting like an ABC made for TV Werewolf by Night movie like every year before Christmas? I mean, before Halloween.
Because of
Like,
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. They separated the Marvel TV and Marvel MCU stuff because they couldn't play nice together.
Is
I
it
hate
because of
that.
Agatha All Along? Like that's coming out in September, so they're like, that'll be our Halloween thing.
Maybe. I don't know. That's cool. Airplane
Contact.
tickets are purchased. Where's he coming? Chuck's coming to San Francisco? That's awesome. I'm sure
That's
he
how you
told
found
me. I'm sure he told me and I forgot.
is he
That's
coming?
cool.
There's that giant convention that what is it? Did it happen last week or is it this week or something like that?
Yeah, no, it was the GalaxyCon in San Jose was last weekend.
It was last weekend.
I was gonna do a Star Trek panel, but I couldn't because of the COVID. But there's one in Sacramento next weekend that Brandon McKinney's signing ad. So we're thinking of driving up there and getting some pictures of him and Walker together.
Nice. Yeah, I'm thinking there's the big fan expo, the San Francisco Fan Expo one.
That's November. This one, right? Yeah.
Yes. Which that's the one where I think everyone's like, I think the autograph charges are like so absolutely insane.
Yeah.
It's just like,
Wasn't it like $400 for Mark Hamill? And I was like,
Whoa.
huh.
yeah, I think it might even be like if you take a picture with him, it was like $1,000.
Yeah, that's cool,
Dude,
man.
get him to sign your Guyver VHS.
Yeah, well, dude, it'd be like $1,000. He'd be diminishing the value of my Guyver VHS. But
I
no,
said that to John Byrne and Chris Claremont at one con. They were signing my Death of Phoenix.
And you're like, now it's worth less.
Yeah, Chris Claremont was like, "Oh yeah, you're gonna take this and take it back to the comic store," and I'm like, "Why? I can't sell it. You guys wrote on it,
Right? Yeah, exactly.
That's not mint anymore." And
Right.
Byrne thought that was kind of funny.
That was like, I remember. Mark might remember this. In Menlo Park Mall in our hometown in New Jersey, there was a comic book shop in Menlo Park Mall
on the lower level. Yeah,
on the lower level. And for a short period of time, I think, well, Mark Hamill did a comic book way back in the day that he wrote or something like that, and he was there signing
Black Pearl.
Black Pearl, that's what it was. Yeah. And he was signing copies of Black Pearl. And I kid you not, there was maybe 4 people there for him to sign.
Oh yeah,
yeah. So just full circle. You could have had him sign anything you wanted Star Wars related back in, I don't know, 1980, whenever. And now he's charging, $1,000 for a picture and his autograph.
It had to be 95 around that time.
That sounds right.
Yeah.
But the only reason I am interested in the Fan Expo is because I think D'Onofrio is going to be there. That's how you pronounce his last name. I think he's one of the few people that I would kind of like to take a picture with, just to have. That would be an interesting.
I like that guy.
Did you see the latest thing that was the meme that was going around? The RFK, suspended his campaign, but it was a picture of whatever his name is, Vincent D'Onofrio, as the Edgar suit. So,
really?
Oh yeah, it's just like a close up like this, and he's going. Says, I hereby suspend my campaign, and like, I just thought that was genius because that was such a good pop culture politic meme that even Mimi got it. So it was like, if you're hitting the normal people,
then you've kind of nailed it.
Joke.
Yeah, that's funny.
Richard Dreyfuss is going to be at the Fan Expo.
Yeah.
Weird.
I saw his. He does a lot of that now.
Close Encounters, man.
But he's never done anything like that before, like any convention
shows. He does Jaws stuff. I don't know.
Jaws.
I don't know what the association is, and I don't know what he like. Generally, they all bring stuff for I guess whoever his handler is that would bring stuff for him.
Huh.
But
Randy Quaid.
Randy
Quaid?
I don't think realize he can come into the country.
Back in the country.
Yeah, I don't think he's allowed in the country. I thought
he's going to be there on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Whoa, all 3 days.
There you go. Well, if he makes one day. Whoa, okay. I didn't know Sam Raimi's going to be there. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I guess it's cool. Dude, we just did San Diego. I know.
Well, the Sam Raimi thing, okay. Joseph Quinn, isn't that the guy playing Human Torch?
Johnny Storm.
Well, damn it, I don't think I'm getting that drawing from Josh soon enough to bring that to have him sign that. That'd be pretty cool to have the sketch.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Human Torch, and then have the guy who's playing Human Torch sign it. No, the reason Sam Raimi interests me is because I watched. I was telling you guys yesterday. I watched Darkman.
Yeah.
When was the last time you guys have watched Darkman? If you've even watched Darkman.
Yeah, no, I saw it the summer it came out in Philadelphia. I totally remember. I fucking love that movie, and I've probably seen it 2 or 3 times since then. But it's 40 years old, right? 30.
I mean, it's old.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, 30
90.
years old.
Yeah, it's crazy. 90.
I'm more of a Darkman 2 fan.
I'm a Darkman.
Die, right? Or is that 3?
No, 3 is Die Darkman Die.
Oh, okay.
That's the one I still have the poster for.
Oh, The Return of Durant. That's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah, is that the second one?
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, those.
I'm pretty sure the second one is Return of Durant, and then the third one is Die Darkman Die, and I'm pretty sure it's Jeff Fahey from then on out. But anyway, I watched it last night. Here's the thing. Dude, I hadn't watched that movie in a long time. There you go. Yeah, exactly. I hadn't watched it in a long time. Liam Neeson, as I'm watching him in that movie, I'm like, wow, in 1990, I feel like he could have got bigger roles because of how good he was in that movie, and he didn't really. It's kind of, I mean, maybe he did, but maybe it was more in the drama realm.
Huh.
That movie was not well received by
No.
people
I know.
at the time. So I don't see why he would get roles from that, because as good as you think his acting technically was, right? It was in service of the biggest ball of cheese of all time. So
that's why I liked it. Yeah, but
I know, but I mean, in terms of getting jobs, like that's not usually how it works. It's like, oh my God, you really sold the fact that your blood was, Pepto-Bismol or something, and now you sound like Spock's dad, or you know what I mean? Like no one ever thinks of sci-fi and fantasy stuff as award-winning acting. I just think that's ironic, because like that's the stuff you have to work to make people buy.
Right. That my whole thing is like using what you just said, and that makes total sense to me. It's like he makes Darkman in 1990. It's a total bomb. 3 years later, he's Oscar Schindler in Schindler's List.
Yeah.
So it's
3 years.
3 years.
Yeah.
Think about that. And then if you look at the movies he makes in that period of time, you're like, nope. And then you're like, wow, Schindler's List. And then of course he's kind of back on the he's back at it again. But then, and then, so 90 is Darkman, 93 is Schindler's List. He doesn't do Star Wars until like, is that 2000 or 99? What is that?
It's got to be 2000. Yeah, because we were just about to leave.
We're still in Jersey, so it's either 99 or 2000. So you think about that, dude. I don't know. Anyway, it's just completely fascinating. And then like, the idea that he then goes on that, like, he does the Star Wars run, then he kind of does what he does, then he's, and then he's doing like Taken until he's, and then every movie is a version of Taken.
He's 90.
Yeah. And then he's Leslie Nielsen.
Do you guys, you're not watching Bad Monkey, are you? Because I kind of feel that Vince Vaughn is on that track now, that where he's gone all the way around to like his smarmy little, like, Arrested Development adolescent guy actually works, right? It's like, it's a choice that it doesn't seem like he's grown out of, but into, you know what I mean? Yeah. It's like, oh yeah, your face now matches getting away saying that smarmy shit, And I see how like a cute girl would fall for it, because it's like, I don't approve of this, but let's see, where it goes. Makes more sense when you're older, instead of you just sound like a tech bro if you're like, Glenn Powell or something. It's not really going to work.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're watching Bad Monkey, and I've read the book, so I know kind of where the plot's going. So I'm just watching people's performances and stuff, and he's just crushing it.
Vince Vaughn is an awesome actor. So it's like, I don't doubt it. He's another one though. Like, I don't think he rubs elbows with the weirdos in Hollywood. So it's interesting for him to have something with a little more, like
credibility.
Yeah. I don't know. That's probably not the right way to, but like, here's the thing. I know I think he just got a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. And, I think of the people that were there to like celebrate him was what's his name? Peter Billingsley from The Christmas Story. And that's like, really? Yeah, well, that's Ralphie from The Christmas Story. Yeah, but that's like Favreau's buddy, and that's like Vaughn's buddy. So they're like all three of those guys. I don't know. It's just a small little circle. I always wondered why Vince Vaughn never kind of got the Marvel nod for something. I think he could play a role in the Marvel things.
Did you ever see that movie where he was in prison? I think you saw that, right? And you loved it.
Oh,
he was like a bruiser.
Yeah, Brawl in Cell Block 90 or something like that. Yeah.
Now I'm trying to think of who I'd cast as him,
or who
I'd cast him as in the MCU, because I mean, Ant-Man's kind of got that his deal covered, right?
Yeah.
So then you need a snapper car kind of guy. Like, is there anybody like that in Marvel? Like somebody I mean, that's what I would do. I'd probably make him like be the head of the web press that prints the Daily Bugle. So you get all the newspaper shit, but it's the real blue collar wise ass shit. And like maybe somebody who works with him is like henching for Doc Ock or something. And you just bring it in that. Do that. A little street. Like, no, we don't need fucking Spider-Man. We'll fucking deal with it.
Right. You could hear him totally say that.
Now I want to write that. Fuck you guys. That's cool though. Give me a movie of that. Give me a cool Marvel. What did they call the horror one? The Hollywood was it Marvel Special? Marvel Spotlight.
Spotlight. Yeah.
Give me a Marvel Spotlight. There should have been 3 Marvel Spotlights by now. I don't know.
There should. You have enough IP to like.
It's the thing that pops in my head is him like some kind of insurance agent where someone's trying to get their car like reimbursed because like a rock fell on it from Zagari attack. And he's like, hey man, listen, I got webs coming out of people's arms, shooting up houses. I got giant beings stepping on cars across this. Come on.
Walker's gonna get really mad you said that because he's his call for Jack Fry. So don't worry. No new characters for Marvel. We'll get it.
Well, then you could actually just make him like the guy running damage control, and that would he could probably he could maybe pull that up. Oh, what do you got? Vince Vaughn facing up with that.
Anyway. Leader of the Yancey Street Gang. I like that. That's cool. Anyway, speaking of like Star Trek and nothing going on, guess what just happened?
What?
Roberto Orci is accused of beating and sexually assaulting his wife. So that's always funny.
Which character is he?
He's one of the producers of the JJ movies. He's a really good writer, and it's a shame that all this stuff is happening. But it's all he sued her over abusing her, so she's like, oh really, here's your countersuit, I've been sexually assaulted. And it's just like, can you guys just give me some Star Trek news?
Your Google alert for Star Trek has been really grim lately.
Did you see that? I'm sure you're aware of it. Did you see the Chronicle had an article about the some old like Deep Space Nine Star Trek episode that is like eerily familiar with like 2024 like San Francisco?
They're probably talking about the Bell riots, but I didn't see that.
Anyway, Chronicle had a big article about it. We a bunch of people. I'm in a nerd group at work that we're all talking about it, and I was like, and it's funny because the Slack channel is called Nerds, which I think is pretty funny. But they were talking about Star Trek, and I was like, and I kind of the one guy that I chat with in there, I was like, oh, the one nerd thing I really don't know any nerdy stuff about. So
that's I know funny. You have such depth of knowledge across such a wide range of subjects, and you're like, nah, I get some buddies that get Star Trek covered. I don't fucking care.
Yeah, totally. I mean, the only thing I know is I know the one thing that completely fascinated me, I think I remember listening to you talk about was, and this is a while ago, probably both of you at separate times, is that Kirk had a brother. And that to me blew my mind. So I looked into that and I learned everything that was about that. And then when I think you told me that it was Kurt, like the only time he ever shows up is like it's Kurt like passed out on the ground with like a mustache.
Yeah,
and he's dead, right? Is that?
Yeah, he's got a fake mustache and a different toupee.
And I'm like, that's
that fooled me until I was about 14 or 15. I was watching it. And I was like, oh, hey, wait a minute. That's the same fucking guy.
I mean, that to me is the coolest thing. And that's about as far that I know. And then what's the one episode with the they speak in
metaphors?
Is that the one where they speak in the metaphors?
Darmok,
yeah. I mean, I know nothing about it except that. So
that's all you need to know, baby.
And Q.
And Q. The episode.
And I know Q is like the.
Well, look, you're
God,
like a normal person.
Yeah. Anyway, that I can.
You're a regular Trekkie.
Is that what qualifies now? Do I pass the test?
No.
But geez. Here's some really cool news, though. Elon Musk pointed out some dumb shit and said, "Hey, we should do Starfleet Academy for real." The Voyager doctor who was just recently, like 2 weeks ago, recently announced as a cast member for the Starfleet Academy show. I should actually look this up. Basically wrote back and go, yeah, the first thing we should fucking do is where is it? Being support a leader that embodies Starfleet values like diversity, inclusion, and ethical behavior.
Yeah.
That might do it.
I thought that was funny.
The least Star Trek character wants to be Star Trek. Wait, that's funny. Ricardo is going to be on the show? Like, is he going to be the doctor, or is he going to be someone new?
I don't know, but I mean, you would hire him because he's the emergency medical hologram, right? So hopefully he's teaching he's teaching health class or something.
That's fucking awesome.
You mean Cowboy?
Is it?
Cowboy from Inner Space?
I'm not looking forward to this show. Because it's just an extension of Discovery, which I hated. It's like Tilly is an instructor. The fucking
really? I didn't know that.
The guy from Mummy is in it still. The Admiral.
Not Odette
fired, whatever his name is. Fair.
Is it the actual Mummy?
No, it's the guy who was trying to kill the Mummy.
The guy who was trying to kill him. He's actually a cool actor. I like him, but no, I don't want.
What's the show? What's it called? It's the new Star Trek?
Starfleet Academy. It's been the show that has been discussed since between Star Trek 2 and Star Trek 3. It's the no-brainerest thing of ever. You just get to do, hey, here's the new crew of Starfleet guys, and then the idea you'll be able to spin guys off into other shows, and then you'll start another show, and look, the guy from this show that you like is in this one, and hey, Boimler's the captain, and it all makes sense on paper, except it's playing Moneyball and not writing science fiction.
Cast looks pretty cool, though.
I know.
Holly Hunter, Giamatti.
I'm sure it'll be distressingly
Oded Fur. That's the guy.
Oded Fur. Yeah.
Tig's gonna be in it.
Oh, Tig Notaro. Yeah. She was on Discovery.
Got it. Okay.
All of that though is just checking boxes. There's nothing organic about this whatsoever. I'm very unhappy. But if it turns out that they just are writing Paper Chase in Starfleet College, okay, it could be fucking awesome. I don't see it, but because just a new cast, man. Just do a new cast. We want new people doing new shit. Yeah. Sitting around in San Francisco of the future is not Star Trek. You want to explore new worlds and new civilizations, and not like do our own
homeroom. Got to pass my holodeck training. Got a big engineering test tomorrow.
The thing that I fear is that there's going to be all this manufactured drama to heighten the soap opera stuff, but also everything is going to be fucking a danger at some point, right? Like, we're trapped in class and we can't get out. It's like, it's bad enough you got to pass this exam while you're holding your breath, and those guys from Epsilon 5 are going to be fine. But it seems like a whole bunch of awkwardness with aggregate shit on it that is not going to end up tasting good, to mix like 5 metaphors. Anyway, sorry.
Will you watch it though?
Of course I will.
Yeah.
You know what I won't watch though is Section 31. I don't care. I was thinking about this morning, how pop culture content fire hose is spraying so much shit that even somebody like me that was like, give me everything, is kind of just having to go, there's still only so many hours in the day, and my wife is working her new job on East Coast time, so I'm getting up at 5 anyway. Like, I just want to have a nice cup of coffee with a candle going or something, instead of, consuming a 2-hour theatrical film on this thing on my phone, sitting in my living room because no one's up yet.
Yeah.
So I end up just going, you know what? I don't care about Section 31, and I'm not going to watch it.
Hey, man, you got to pick and choose your battles.
Well,
Shivers is right. Tig is in it. I'll give it a shot. But if Tig was the only recurring character, I'd be fine. Because then you're throwing a hand grenade in the room and closing the door and watching what happens. Yes, that's that kind of character. But putting Tig and Tilly in the same scene is what is the point of that? Which is what you're going to get all the time. And it's great for interpersonal like character tension, but like the show's going to be about the kids and not the instructors, right? Because otherwise, why is it called Starfleet Academy? It's not
right.
Yeah. And Tig is my favorite kind of Star Trek character, like the expert who knows everything but doesn't give a shit about anything.
Yeah, Tig is
fine.
She's a crazy good character. I'm so sad they wasted her on Discovery. But she elevated literally every scene she was in just by her presence. Because they didn't write her like she wouldn't let them write her like a Discovery character.
They're like, you have 20 minutes. I wouldn't say that. No, I can't do it in 20 minutes. I can't change the laws of thermodynamics. It's going to be an hour. Sorry.
I loved her backstory too. Like she was just somebody from another ship they picked up. She did not give a shit about anything, and those are my favorite characters and everything. Like the character who's like he's just part of the story, but like is literally doing something else the rest of the character's life. And even this bit isn't like the best thing ever that they did. It's just they needed to come in here and like do that for a minute.
She's a master engineer, and they found her like doing triage on some like space station that like had catastrophic, failure. And she's like, engines, human bodies, it's all the same thing. It's all trying to get this bit to do that bit.
I loved how she totally sold that line too, because you kind of just go, oh yeah, well, what is a broken bone if not just you need some kind of organic glue to stick together like mending broken glasses, right?
Yeah,
like she just says it with such confidence and such matter of factness that you kind of don't think about it until like later. You're like, well, wait a minute, that's pretty much two different things. Anyway, I like her in everything that she comes in on. She has a very like it might be because of being a comedian that like being a comedian is very observing of the human condition. Well, so it might be just that, but whenever she's playing something, like I'm thinking of the Zack Snyder zombie movie.
Well, exactly. You get the role, but also know what your presence brings, and actually don't play out of character. You know what I mean? Like, you know what's real. You know what is presented as real coming from you, and what would be fake, and you kind of always get, especially in that movie, because isn't that the movie where she's not in any other scenes with anybody else? They
right? Like put her head on somebody else or something.
Right. Oh, it's the
that's right. Army of the Dead.
Yeah, isn't that the Deadpool guy?
Yeah, she played Chris whatever his name is, Christodelia, whatever.
That guy. When he left. I thought that was the guy, the Deadpool guy. It's not the Deadpool guy. It's the other long-haired.
Oh, TJ Miller, you were thinking of.
Yeah.
Oh,
like the Deadpool guy, Ryan Reynolds. No. Oh, who's another Deadpool? Oh, yeah. Man, Mimi hates that guy. She just hates his presence. She hates his tone of voice.
TJ Miller.
Yeah. So like, it's just not a guy I think of right away because he's not allowed on our TV.
The funny thing is I had no idea who he was until the Deadpool movie, and then I realized he's the voice of the character in the emoji because I heard him talk and I was like, oh, it's the Emoji Movie guy, and then I heard all the other stuff and I was like, oh well, I mean, and I don't hate the Emoji Movie.
Cloverfield. That's how I was introduced to him.
Got it. I just, I think anyone that touched Silicon Valley is immediate like, nope. I don't know. Yeah. And there's a lot of people. There's a lot of people. Like he's like all of those comedians that are in Silicon Valley. It's like,
only a few people skated out of that TV show
Did they though?
Untarnished.
Did they though?
That's true.
Exactly. Anyway. Well, speaking of which, I was trying to figure out what's the next movie we're going to.
Right. That's a good question.
I'm
Thunderbolts, right?
Thunderbolts.
That's February.
A while.
Yeah.
Because all right, I was looking. The next big one next Friday is Beetlejuice, which I'll see, but I don't know if that's one we would make the formal.
Man, I haven't even seen Romulus yet.
Romulus, you haven't?
No.
I was going to ask you if you had seen it. Okay.
No.
But
a lot of stuff going on.
I'll keep on going. We know
How's senior year, by the way, before I forget to ask.
It's going good. He's rocking it. Monday he came home and just like cool thing after cool thing. But
Nice.
the coolest bit he's psyched for. He was having trouble just arranging his schedule. He wanted his schedule a certain way because of his afternoon stuff for swimming and football and lacrosse and all that shit. And the powers that be weren't agreeing with him until he came up with the genius idea. He even gave me credit. He was like, "Daddy, this is like that thing you said. Like, I can't wait for the genius idea I'm going to have to fix this mess." And he goes, "Why don't I just approach my last year's English teacher who loved him and say, I don't know if you have room, but I'd love to TA for your class and just, sign off all the tests and stuff and take stuff to the library for you and talk to the younger kids for you." She's like, "Hey, that's an excellent idea." So he's doing that. And I was like, dude, so you're just playing Frisbee with Diego for an hour and then shelving books for 10 minutes, right? Is that what you're telling me? And then that looks like this amazing thing on your resume. Like,
the TA part.
TAing for English. So I thought that was brilliant. I was like, way to go, pal. Figuring it out. And that was just one of them. The rest of them are sort of even more personal things that I probably shouldn't say.
We'll let him share.
Yeah. He'll tell you guys at Alameda or something.
Yeah, exactly.
He was like, "What are we looking for at Alameda? September's coming, Daddy." So we're looking.
Are you free on Sunday?
I don't know. I
didn't ask just because I know with football season it kind of everything gets insanity. So
I think the game's tomorrow actually, but it's tomorrow at 7 in Santa Clara.
Is that the first game? Or
the first game of the season. Yeah, they've been playing little scrimmagey things, but yeah, this is the first one.
Wow,
dude, he's got a shoulder strap. He's all bitter. I was telling him about Rico's Roughnecks and Starship Troopers, and I said you need because he's like what they have these things called. They don't call them captains because there's so many people, but there's tops and chiefs. And so,
I remember him telling me about this. Yeah.
So he spent the summer being a chief, and now he's like one of the defense tops. And so that's like you got some of the younger kids that you're just making sure they do what they're supposed to do. It's like it's pretty involved actually, and so he's pretty psyched about that.
Wait, did you say a shoulder strap?
Yeah, he's got some kind of brace now that he wears because he's so powerful. It was a weightlifting injury. It wasn't.
I was gonna say, is he like Lawrence Taylor? Like they're pinning his arm in so he can play with one arm because he's a maniac.
It's something like that. Honestly, it's to prevent the
probably to prevent the. I was gonna say, I was probably to prevent
got a little strained or something. Anyway,
well,
it just looks like It's like, man, this is my dream that I wish that every day that when I got up in the morning, I needed somebody to help me get dressed and put on all my fucking shit because I was going to do some cool thing today, But it's like getting like a guy suited up in space or something.
Well, Alameda's a Sunday, no pressure. If you want, I'll be there looking for.
Probably Friday or Saturday. We'll have a better idea of how
I'll ping you.
Shaping up.
Yeah. But anyway, so I was looking at the schedule. So October 25th is Venom: The Last Dance, which actually looks pretty good. Although I've never seen any of the Spider-Man movies or the Venom movies, would that be required to see that one?
Yeah, you're fine.
Okay. Captain America is Feb 14th.
Really? So then we can all have a Valentine's date together.
Yeah. The Accountant 2 is April 25th. and then we're all the way in May, and that's when Thunderbolts is May 2nd.
Thunderbolts was February. What was
Did
February?
It flip? Maybe it flipped.
No, I probably have that wrong. What was the February one? Was that
Captain? Yeah.
Yeah, okay. That makes sense.
Yeah, and then Thunderbolts hold on, I'm just writing them down so I have them for next time. Is May 2nd. And then Mission Impossible
Beetlejuice.
8
Beetlejuice
is
next week.
Yeah, that's
Really?
Friday.
That's soon. Sooner than I thought. I feel like I just saw the trailer for it.
Next summer is actually pretty decent. You got May 2nd, Thunderbolts. You got
Next summer.
May 23rd, Mission Impossible 8. Then you got June 8th, Ballerina, the John Wick one. Then June 20th, I'm looking forward, is 28 Years Later, which I think which looks pretty good.
Oh, that's cool.
Or what I've been reading about is pretty good. And then July is like Jurassic World, Rebirth. July 11th, Superman. July 18th, technically that's the release date for The Naked Gun. The Liam Neeson Naked
Liam
Gun.
Neeson.
Yeah.
And then July 25th is Fantastic Four. So like July is pretty solid. You got a Jurassic Park movie,
another
Superman.
big comic book movie coming out Comic-Con weekend.
Yeah.
Oh man. Wow, that's next year at this time.
Why?
And then I'm trying to think anything else big. Nobody 2 is August 15th, which I guarantee will get pushed back. Batman got pushed out because that was Batman Part 2. The Batman Part 2, that was supposed to be October, but that got pushed to 2026.
I didn't think they were still making that.
Yeah, I didn't either.
The new Tron, that's October 10th.
Neutron Dance.
Technically, Blade is still on the docket for November 7th. I think that'll get. I mean, they don't even have a movie. Yeah. Yeah, and that's next year. And
it's
then
funny. I saw someone talk recently how in that line Wesley Snipes was like, "There's only been one Blade. There'll only ever be one Blade." But I totally forgot there was a Blade TV show.
Yes, there was. It's pretty solid.
Disrespectful.
Yeah, but it wasn't that good.
I know.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of Alameda, Larry, did you want to?
Oh yeah, man, that's so cool. So yeah, you guys know
what
we go
ticket
to
is that?
The Alameda Antiques thing, and so Steve got this great score with somebody's bedroom corkboard full of all these tickets to shows, rock shows over the years. But it was just a crazy amount of eclectic shows, like David Bowie, Elton John. There was I don't even remember them all.
And the crazy part is none of them had like the name of the artist on them. Like I don't know if you can.
Oh,
like,
so it's just like the venue.
It's just date. The venue and the date. And then I had to send them in. So I know I'm flipped, so I don't know how I can fix that.
No, you got it. That's cool.
But so did the company figure out who was playing at that venue on that date?
No.
Okay.
I had to do research.
Took your word for it.
I had to do research to see if I could find out who the artist was and the date, if there was any listing in any of the artists like catalog or like history or anything to be like, did they actually play there? And then they verified, yes, they did. And then what? So like the coolest one is like the Kiss one. It's Kiss 1976, the Destroyer Tour, Anaheim Stadium. I mean, it's a cool.
Yeah, that's legit.
That looks really cool, like that.
It does.
Yeah, and then it's kind of cool. I don't know if you could see what it says on the back. I'm trying. I don't know. It's like
no bottles, cans, alcoholic beverages. What's the last thing say? Lawn chairs or coolers.
Lawn chairs or coolers. So it's just like that. The Kiss one was pretty cool. I did the Frampton one because it just like. That one looks
that's Frampton Comes Alive. I
mean,
every ticket is like an iconic show. It's
insane.
Oh, nice.
Elton John, it's like his first one in the US, right?
Yeah, it is. It's like
it's insane.
And you paid like $15 for that one corkboard.
I paid $40 for the corkboard, and it had 55 tickets on it.
That's just insane.
And all I did was I only sent in 5. I sent in 5 about felt like a year ago. So I finally got them back. But yeah, the Elton John one's pretty cool. It's like Honky Chateau Tour 1972. It's like the second Elton John show in the United States.
Oh man, that's just bananas.
And then I got the this one is actually pretty cool because it was like I couldn't find anything on it, and it's REO Speedwagon with fog hat.
Oh, nice.
It's like, so it was like I was like, oh, okay, they found out it had that. And then the one I won't get rid of is the Bowie Ziggy Stardust tour. But Alameda, man,
yeah,
Alameda,
you never know what you're gonna find over there.
You never know what you're gonna find there. So I'm hoping this Sunday has another positive, and it should be a good one. So it's like the end of summer before, and so it's like a lot of people are just like bringing to make stuff go away, you know,
before the rain comes,
before the season changes. Yeah,
we have to stock up for San Diego.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll be buying like lunatic stuff this year just to see what happens.
Flip it.
No, just to like see the joy, pass on the joy. Like that dude who bought all those model kits, that man, he gave me like 3 days of joy of like, you know, I'm like, you know what this is, but this one doesn't have the Neil Adams instruction book but this one has the Dave Cockrum one.
Yeah.
And this one's missing Tarzan's foot. And he was like, oh, it's not complete. I'm like, I know, you're never going to find one. Might as well make the part out of putty or something.
Right, exactly.
For 3
days. I think he left and came back, right?
For 3 days. He kept leaving and coming back. And I'm like, it's cool, man. If you
he bought them all over the course of like 3 hours.
10 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because he kind of like bought the first 2. He's like, these are sealed, huh? And I was like, yep. And that was the immediate sale. Like, oh, okay.
Oh, the Star Wars ones, right?
And then it was like, I probably should get those other ones. And I'm like, okay. And then I think Larry was there for like the last one where he was like, yeah, I'm gonna get it. And it's like, might as well.
But that gave me way more joy than the money he gave us. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah.
What money?
Looking forward to stocking up.
Well, I will. If you want to partake, I'll be there when the rooster crows. So.
If it was tomorrow, I'd tell you hell yes. I've been getting up between 4:30 and 5, like the last week. So like getting up and on the road will not be a problem. So nice. It's just if Walker wants to go, and if I know it's just you, maybe I'll just get in. I don't know. Yeah. It would be fun.
Yeah, well, we always find
you can't go, Mark. Something going on. Yeah.
No, well, Jez has the car, so I'm kind of stuck here. But it's the first weekend in 3 months where I don't have to get ready.
Oh my
for a
God, that's right. You've been traveling
or
like
be
a bastard.
sick, or I'll probably get a cold tomorrow. It'll ruin everything.
Everybody's sort of all the people in my world have just like the last month has just been like this giant pause button. Because so much crap has been going on. There's just like, hey, did you hear like Biden dropped out? And they're like, what?
What
stuff like that?
When was that? That recent?
Yeah. It's like the first weekend in literally like 2 months where I don't have anything going on.
Can I tell you one quick thing though? For fucking speaking of that, babies came like a month ago, maybe even a little more. And I instantly ordered the LL Bean tote bags that we always get, right? And Alice's came, but Leah's didn't. And they said, it was back ordered. All right. People are buying all the different colors, whatever. I'll wait a week or so. It's no big deal. And then it ended up just being like a month. And I'm like, oh, God damn it. Like now it's starting to be like an asshole thing that like, no, I had this gift ready to go. It just... the other half wasn't here. You had the bad form to have 2 babies instead of just one.
At the same time? Come on.
Well, what I will say is when you are giving someone a baby gift, everyone always bombards them right in the beginning and sends them all stuff. So it is nice to get something a little later on while, like, so if you do it like a month or 2 later, that is a nice gesture because again, everyone in the beginning is sending like clothes that they like, throw up all over, and it's like I don't need any of that like yet. Like wait till they're like holding down food. Anyway, I'm just saying like when you get it, and like a month or two after they're born, it's totally cool too.
You know price, so I'm not really worried about it. Like, well, this gift that you are giving me gets no gratitude because it's a little late. You know, I got maybe my sister would do that, but I'm pretty sure Price would. But yeah, so anyway, I ended up like interacting with the world in a way I didn't mean to, because I was like, okay, I have to call now and cancel this order.
LL Bean.
And interact with that whole mess. And they're like, well, would you like to order something else to replace it? I'm like, absolutely, but I'm not going to do it with you. Do it online.
I'll do it online when I want
to. They told me I have to cancel the order. I have to call you at this 800 number where my phone call can be monitored for quality
assurance.
Please cancel it. Now you just go, it's been canceled, sir. And he goes, yes, your order's been canceled. I'm like, great, thanks very much. Click.
Yeah.
And then I get the next one in 3 days. Like, it was horrible. Anyway,
the real world.
That was me interacting with the real world. That's yay. Good job, Larry.
Look at you making phone calls.
That's everyone's. It's funny. I leave a lot of that, like when you have to pay like the medical bills or something like that, you pay and then they send you the bill at home, and then it's like, why don't you have a portal that I can just type all this into the machine and pay? And no, I actually have to call someone and read my credit card number over the phone. What year is this? What's going on?
Yeah, I have to re-up my driver's license, and that's going on. They're like, so I'm like, okay, it's the 10-year thing, so you need my new picture. That's great. I've lost a lot of weight from my picture 10 years ago, so I'm looking really forward to getting my picture taken. Just let me go.
Right.
Like, oh yeah, you have to do this, and this because you might not have to do that. And okay, I don't care. Just like, I want to go October 2nd at 3:00. You know, they're like, okay, and I'm like, why is this a problem? And then 2 days later, I get a thing in the mail that says, you know, you have this thing. And I'm like, I know, I have. You just gave me the email with a confirmation number, and now you've like killed the tree.
Right.
And
it's automated to death. Automated and paperwork, and just when you wonder why most of the states have like 900 million people that work for the state, that's why. It's
because of stuff like that. Yeah.
It's like, oh, we digitized this all, but nope, we'll actually put it on paper and add 7 more layers that have to like approve it. So I don't know.
The thing that made me laugh is, you know, the real ID thing, right?
Yes. Do you have a real ID?
So, but I did that a million years ago. And so now I have to reprove everything again. It's like,
yep, same here.
I just did it. That's the whole point of doing the real ID. I'm the same guy. What, I have to prove it again?
I got a better story.
They're like, well, what if your address changed? I'm like, it didn't.
It never will.
Let's go.
So I got my info, and it was like, your driver's license is expired, or is it going to expire? So you needed to renew it. And I was like, oh, okay. And then it was like, okay, but you have to sign up for a real ID. And so, because, you know, when you have the real ID, you have to have all these different forms of identification and all these different things. And I was like, oh, okay. So of course I made an appointment and everything. And then I go and I'm in there and I have all the paper, you know, you have to show all the paperwork so that you can you do it all online, but then you have to go in or whatever. So I go in, I'm waiting in line. I'm there for like 50 minutes. I finally get called up. I get to the front and I'm like, oh, okay. And he's like, I'm here for my driver's license renewal and also to get a real ID. And he starts looking at, he goes, okay, do you have your old driver's license? I hand him my old driver's license. He goes, you have real ID. And I was like, what do you mean I have real ID? And I was like, what is that? And he's like, you see the bear on your driver's license?
Yeah.
He's like, that means you have real ID. And I was like,
cool.
Do you think when I like registered all this information into the system, it probably should have told me that I had real ID and I didn't have to go through all of these steps? But it never intuitively told me that. So you made me jump through all of these hoops for you in person to just look at my driver's license and say, oh, you have real ID.
You're good.
Wait, how do you know if you have the real ID?
I think it's
a little bear, you know, like on the flag, the Bear Flag Republic.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got a little star and a bear. You're good.
Oh.
So basically, what that does is you can get into Canada and Mexico without your passport.
Without passport.
That's basically that. Maybe New Zealand and
I mean, you can get into Mexico anytime you want, really, and back in the
right now.
and back in the United States.
now
Really,
you can get back though, right?
Yeah, but I guess
'cause your
but I
bear
guess you
has
could-
a star on it.
But I guess you could do that either. But that's not here.
It was something they did to like just verify everybody's identity after post 9/11 shit. That you just that's the real ID aspect of the show.
Yeah. Anyway, don't have to jump through all those hoops. Just renew your driver's license, which it takes like 5 minutes as opposed to like, 2 months. So
Mimi just had to, with her new gig, she had to pass credit, not a credit check, a security background check, and she was mad that it only took a day. I'm like, honey, like, come on, you're like as straight can be. There's like nothing in your life at all. Like I'm kind of surprised it took an entire day. Like somebody might have just went, doop, doop, doop. Oh yeah, she's fine. And
really?
then take the rest of the day off.
I mean, the sad part is 90% of the time it's just like check if you have a criminal record, and if you don't, they actually just run a credit check on you, and then that's it. That's it.
Yeah.
That's all a background check really is for those, because that's all we used to do
That's what you did. Yeah.
for like Best Buy. You would type in their social security number that they provided you with, and they would just if anything was associated criminally or like financially, and then it would be like, oh, it came back clean. Okay, cool, hire him.
Excellent.
So-
All right, guys. Well, I have to piss. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm like,
Well, that's
Thanks,
a good.
Mark.
That's a
It
good.
was a
segue.
pleasure.
That's a good, yeah. I'm like, oh, we started talking about real ideas. I'm like, oh God, you guys are killing me.
way far from Dork Court. But well, Mark, happy birthday. Hope you have a great rest of your day.
When
Yeah.
you said he was 50, I was like, there's no fucking way.
You son of a bitch.
And it turns
I was
out
like, might as well be.
it wasn't.
Yeah,
Happy
awesome.
birthday, man.
Thanks,
Yep.
guys.
And I'll find you something fun at Alameda. Maybe a VHS
Yeah.
tape,
A small chair.
a small chair,
A Garfield in a chair.
A
I am
Garfield
making
in a chair?
lasagna for dinner tonight, so.
Oh, dude, there you go.
There we go.
Awesome. Well,
Hey,
There you
thanks,
go.
guys.
Everybody's in.
Hey, awesome. Well, gentlemen,
Okay,
I will go be dad. Go pee, Mark, Larry.
All right. Sounds
Send
good.
say hi to the. All right, go get out of here.
Go. Here, let me help. There you go.
Well,
right,
say
let's
say
say
hi to
goodbye.
Walk and Mimi for me.
Yeah, hey to the fam too.
and I'll ping you about Sunday if you're in.
Yeah, sounds good.
Cool, man. All right, Larry.